Following President Donald Trump's joint address to Congress this week, the House of Representatives, well, they voted to censure Texas Congressman Al Green. Of course, he interrupted the president's speech by calling for his impeachment, shouting and refusing to retake his seat. So what happens? At the exact time Green was supposed to face his punishment for disrupting the House, House Democrats responded by disrupting the House, by singing. For more on this, let's welcome in Maryland Congressman, Chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, Andy Harris. Good morning, Congressman. I mean, censure votes are not very common. They're quite rare, in fact. So why did Republicans, along with 10 Democrats, vote to censure Congressman Green?
Well, what Congressman Green did on Tuesday it was unprecedented in the House. I've never seen a member ejected from the House for that kind of behavior, much less behavior with the president and the Senate and the Supreme Court and the cabinet. I mean, this is an occasion of grandeur, to be honest with you. And he acted in a foolish way and, again, had to be escorted off the floor. He deserved a censure for that action. We can't have that happen. Interrupting the decorum in the House of Representatives like that just can't be tolerated.
Well, and I recall when it happened in 2009 with Congressman Joe Wilson, Republicans joined with Democrats to censure that Republican when he shouted, "You lie," at then President Barack Obama. So this is generally a bipartisan show of support for decorum. But then you had yesterday, Democrats, they obviously protested the actual punishment. Now there's some folks in Republicans are saying those Democrats should lose their committee assignments. Is that something that you support? It's kind of unprecedented as well.
Well, I do think that Al Green, who again refused to accept the censure because that's when the singing broke out in the chamber yesterday, he refused to accept his punishment. The only punishment was to stand there and have the censure document read. That's it. He refused to do that. Now I think he should have his committee assignments stripped because that's what the Democrats did to Republicans for far less serious offenses. The bottom line is that what's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. I do support Al Green now losing his committee assignment so that the message is sent, you can't do this in the House chamber.
You know, back to business now with the House. I know this week President Trump, you and other members of the Freedom Caucus met to kind of outline what a continuing resolution, which is basically continuing government funding to avoid a shutdown, might look like. I know there's some agreement. There's some areas probably still of some disagreement. Where do things stand right now?
I think we have fairly broad agreement. I'm not sure we're there yet on having as many Republicans as we'll need to pass this out of the House, but I think there's broad agreement that the president needs to continue his agenda. DOJ needs to continue functioning. A government shutdown would interfere with that. And the stunning hypocrisy is the Democrats are claiming that they don't like layoffs, but they are about to vote. I think next week, the vast majority are going to vote to furlough millions of federal employees. The hypocrisy is stunning. They just don't want to keep the government running because they know that Elon Musk will continue his job of rooting out fraud, waste, and abuse.
About 10 seconds, Congressman. Do you think that we will get a short-term CR or take it all the way through the end of the fiscal year so you can do an actual budget for the next upcoming fiscal year?
I certainly hope and support one going all the way through the fiscal year so that we can do next year's work now.
All right, Congressman, thank you very much for joining us. Andy Harris from Maryland.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.